Welcome to the Vandal Insider Podcast, presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Get the latest information on University of Idaho athletics you won't find anywhere else. It's all here on the Vandal Insider Podcast, every fan source for all things Idaho athletics. Here's your host, Dennis Patchin.
Welcome to another edition of the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. This week, we'll take a look back at the loss at San Jose State and a look ahead at the Big Sky Conference opener on Saturday in Missoula against the University of Montana. Head coach Thomas Ford and senior defensive tackle Zach Krotzer will be here to talk football. It's not only the Big Sky opener for the football team this week, but also soccer and volleyball will start conference play, and we'll visit with both head coaches. Jeremy Clevenger from soccer and Romana Redondo Kriskova from volleyball. And the Vandal swim season is here. We'll hear from Dr. Mark Sowa about his team, which begins on Saturday. It was another rough Saturday for the Vandals, as for the second time this season, Idaho lost a game in the final seconds, 31-28 to San Jose State. It started well as the Vandals scored the first two touchdowns of the game. That is Howard Stedford, who's on a wing to the right side. Speed option to the right corner. Wood into the end zone, untouched. Touchdown, Idaho! When you got a quarterback like Joshua Wood, you can run the speed option, and they did it. He kept it, and the Vandals are on the board first. Art Williams, shotgun, dives for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown. Art Williams was not going to be denied. Out of the Wildcat, John Norwood with a penetration tackled him at the 2-yard line. Art Williams kept his feet going and dove for the end zone. Touchdown, Vandals. Up 14-0, Idaho could not hold the lead. San Jose State would tie the game before the half. In the second half, the Vandals retook the lead on the opening drive of the third quarter. Wood takes the snap, looks left, throws to the end zone, throws it up high. It's caught! Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is a touchdown! In the corner of the end zone. Ryan Jesuraro, and Jesuraro's touchdown has given the Idaho Vandals the lead back. How in the world did he get that foot down? After a Spartan touchdown tied it for the second time in this game at 21, the Vandals took the lead early in the fourth. All right, here we go. Fourth down. Ball is at the 18-yard line as the Vandals are in the First Federal Bank red zone. Pistol formation. Kinchlow is the running back behind Williams. Takes the snap. Play fake to Kinchlow. They're going to float it out there. It is caught! Oh, it is caught on a fingertip grab by Noah Westbarenko. His first catch of the season, his second catch of the Vandals. What another play call by Matt Linehan. Are you kidding me? Up 28-21, the Vandals couldn't get the stop they needed. San Jose State scored the last 10 points, getting the game-winning field goal with 8 ticks left on the clock for the win. It was a tough game to lose.
We just did not make enough stops to get the job done. Thought there was a lot of really good things in the game. Offensively, we did a great job throwing it, having great balance. I thought Joshua Wood had another really good game. He had some young wide receivers really step up as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing this group bounce back and get after it.
But head coach Thomas Ford Jr. says we all have to look at the non-conference in perspective.
When you really look at our season so far, we're really, 6 points away from being 4-0 and having 2 FBS wins. So we feel like our group is on the right track with what we're doing. We're very excited about our process and just got to tack a little bit better and make a few plays on defense. And I think that game, goes the other way.
Saturday, Big Sky play will start. 8 games in 9 weeks to decide the Vandals' playoff path. Playing Montana is never easy. Even harder playing in Missoula. Even tougher having it be your first conference game. But for Ford and his Vandals, you got to play them sometime. Why not now?
You want to play the best of the best, and so it doesn't really matter when you play them. I think our guys would be up for this game, whether we played them week 1 or week 12. It's, a storied rivalry, and I know that the guys, especially our veteran guys that have been here and have take place in this game over the last few years, it's been highly competitive, right? 1-score games in each of the last 2 contests. And so having them for week 1 is great just because it gives you a really good idea of where you're at in the Big Sky.
And there's one other thing on the line this weekend. the Little Brown Stein.
I know as an assistant it was pretty awesome getting that thing and taking it back to Moscow, and I know also as an assistant it hurt pretty bad seeing them leave with it here in Moscow back in 2023. So very excited for the matchup. It's going to be a big-time game, ESPN game, Big Sky Game of the Week, all these great things, but at the end of the day, it's our first Big Sky Conference game, and that's what matters the most. Out of all the hype, I think the thing that matters the most for our guys is just we're into Big Sky play, and our goals are still at hand.
The Vandals have played 3 one-score games in their first 4, and the Utah Tech game was close as well. All of that will help Saturday and the rest of the season.
It should be a tight game. It's going to be, ebbs and flows, and that's what you have to live through in those tight games. And I think unless you go through it, it's hard to learn it. And I think that's something that our guys have definitely got a lot of experience in, right? We're going to go back and forth. It doesn't matter if the lead changes. It doesn't matter if you're down. You're going to keep playing because the only snap that really matters is the next one. But I definitely think it helps playing those games early, especially getting into the Big Sky slate and then a game like this.
Ford says the Grizzlies are good, and watching their 3 wins this season, he doesn't see a lot of weakness.
Physical on offense. They've got running back, number 10, that I think is a very good player, one of the better players probably in all of FCS football. Number 6, their wide receiver, Michael Wortham, came from Eastern Washington. I remember him from my time as a special teams coordinator, kind of got after us in the kick game. I know he did last year as well, returned a kickoff to the house, but, they use him in a bunch of different ways. Wildcat. He's going to be playing, obviously receiver, but, they get it to him in space, and I think he's a very dangerous player. I think their quarterback is playing with a lot of confidence right now, and they've got a big offensive line and some tight ends. So, offensively, they're, I think, one of the top teams in the country. I know they're the top in the Big Sky, so it's going to be a challenge for us offensively. Defensively, they've got a tricky defense. They are a little bit non-conventional with how they play. They're going to blitz you from every angle. Sometimes I don't know if they're gap sound, but it doesn't matter because they cause a lot of havoc as a result. So they definitely pose some challenges offensively and defensively. And then, Coach Hawk, he's going to do a great job with those special teams. He's a big special teams guy, and they've been very good on special teams ever since I've been around this program, and I see it being no different this week. So what you see is, a lot of hopefully strength on strength, right? I think they're pretty decent stopping the run, but we're pretty good at running it. Right? I think they run it pretty good. I think we're pretty good at stopping it. So I think you're going to see some strength on strength matchups this weekend.
And there's one other factor, one big factor, the venue. Washington Grizzly Stadium.
Probably one of the loudest places in all of FCS football. Shoot, I've coached in Power 4 stadiums that are much quieter than that place. And so they're going to have a ruckus crowd. They're going to be, excited and in the game the entire 4 quarters. And so I think you get them ready by kind of sharing the experience. You talk about it a little bit. You share it with them. Obviously you practice with great crowd noise when we're on offense, and you try to do everything you can to get them ready. But at the end of the day, that field is the same size, no matter where it's at, no matter how loud it is, and you got to execute between the stripes.
Ford has been part of this series twice. A win in Missoula, a loss in Moscow. He knows.
I just know the feeling of having it, and I know the feeling of losing it, and the feeling of having it's a lot better. So that's what we're after, and it's definitely something that's stuck with me since 2023.
This Idaho Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. As the Vandals team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor cares for elite athletes, weekend warriors, and everyone in between. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider podcast. We are now joined by Zach Krotzer, the defensive lineman for the Idaho Vandals. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Yes, sir. It's an honor to be here. It's another great day, and I'm feeling good. Got a big week this week, so super excited.
We got a lot to talk about here. This is really a big week. I was going to talk about Montana later, but you brought it up. Let's get right into it. What's the feeling like this week?
The feeling's great. It's a great feeling, especially coming off last year, how they beat us last year. So it's an intense feeling. It's a rivalry week. Rivalry. Can't really say that word, but
that's okay.
Yeah, it's a big week. It's really intense. Try not to get too built up in early stages of it.
Yeah.
So it's only Tuesday, so need that slow burn, but it's still a lot of built up tension there.
How do you handle that? How do you make sure to pull the reins? Because I'm going to ask this to Coach Ford on the Coaches Show this week. How do you make sure your guys don't go crazy on Wednesday or Thursday and then have nothing left for the game? How do you handle that?
Just that slow burn. You just got to, like, watching film. Coach Ford really describes watching film, too, so you can kind of cool it down with the film. Just watch the film, and you're cool, calm, and collected. You know what you got to do. You're not thinking too much about the game right now. You're thinking about your responsibility. So you learn that, and then you're just slowly breathing off that, taking off that.
When you play a game like this that means a lot, forget about who the team you're playing. This is a game everybody's saying this is the top game in the FCS in the country. This is a huge football game. How do you maintain that throughout the week so when, and it's at 8:30 clock when you look at the clock, 8:15 clock, how do you maintain that so you've got that explosion at kickoff time?
Yeah, so, I mean, Coach Ford's really good about every week is a kind of a playoff week, so every week's a big week for us. So it's another week, but it's the Grizz, but it's another week just like last week. It's every game's a kind of playoff game. That's what you got to think about it. It's my last season. It's a lot of the seniors kind of think about that, so every game is just that big game. So it's kind of easy to think about it. Every week's kind of like this, so you're preparing like a playoff game every week. So
you're from Spokane, so you've been around enough Idaho, Montana games.
Yeah.
Heck, go back to when you were probably 8, 9, 10 when Eastern Washington was good playing Montana. It's always been a big game. What's it like to play in a game that's this big?
It's awesome. It's a great feeling. I was there in 22 when we beat them. I was being there and just seeing their fans, just their faces on the fans, and it's just a great feeling. The rivalry is just great because it's real tense between the two teams. So it's great, and I've just growing up watching it too. I've always known about Montana. I've been going to Eastern games growing up because I was in Spokane. I've seen them play, and it's really cool, especially going in that environment too and seeing just everyone there. And I got family going there too. I got 15 people traveling to the game, so it means something.
There's also something at stake, and it's a Little Brown Stein.
Yes.
And I mean, it doesn't to the average person. It's like, that's what you're playing for. That's what you're getting excited for. But talking to guys who have played, 40, 50 years ago, that's important.
Oh, it means something. It's a trophy. It's a big trophy. It got something behind its name. It's not just a Little Brown Stein. It's big. Yeah. It means a lot.
Have you drank it? Have you ever drank out of it?
I have not. When we won, I was still a little younger, so I didn't want to get too close to it or nothing yet. So I want to earn it. I really want to earn it this year.
Let's talk a little bit about your start. 4 games into the season, 2-2. The 2 losses have been in the last 10 seconds of both games.
Yeah.
In games you guys probably thought you could have won. Now we shift gears in the Big Sky Conference. Did those 4 games, do you think, get you ready for what you're going to have to do in the Big Sky?
Definitely. It prepared us great. We played those good teams, those FBS teams. We played them tight. We should have beat them. Doesn't really matter now. We move on. We got our opponents. We know who we got now. We got all the FBS guys or FCS guys. We got our Big Sky teams. We know who they are. We know what we got.
Zach, how did you wind up here at Idaho? Because you went to Shadle Park High School in Spokane, and Spokane isn't that far away, but it is in the state of Washington. How'd you wind up here?
Coach Sink, he with Coach Petrino's old staff. I was just senior at Shadle Park High School, and I don't have the best grades or nothing. And Coach P, he gave people chances. He gave a lot of people chances, and he gave me a shot. Coach Sink came to my school a few times. He was the old line coach. He got me here. Just my parents fell in love with it. We had a nice visit here. Everyone fell in love with it. We loved the culture. We loved how they cared about school. We loved all that parts. So it was a great fit for me, and my family loved it here. And I liked my family nice and close. I liked them coming to games. So that was another big reason.
Well, and before anybody says that you're not a good student, you've already graduated, and you're going to have your master's by the time you're out of here.
Yes, sir. I've grown a little bit since high school. I have received a 4.0 a couple of semesters ago, so that was a big achievement. And yeah.
Oh, okay. What did that – I mean, you've always been a good football player.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember you in high school. You've always been a good football player,
you.
But you're admitting to us you weren't always the best student.
I was not.
For you to get a 4.0 in a semester, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good. It made me, kind of proud. like for my parents too, because I mean, back in high school, I was always going back and forth with my parents. Oh, you gotta do this, gotta do that, and just kind of have like
Zach,
that
would you
stress
turn
relief.
your stuff in?
Yep, it was just like that. So just getting like that feeling just off my chest and being able to tell them and seeing like the look on their faces. That's kind of like the best part.
What's your degree in, and what's your master's going to be in?
It's gonna be secondary education, so I can be a teacher. Yep, and then it's developmental leadership is for my master's, so it kind of be more like if I can go like that PE route too, so I can have both. I can get administration. I can kind of.
So it sounds like you want to be a teacher, which means I would assume you want to be a football coach.
Yep, I would like to coach. I would like to do all of that. I can do history, be a history teacher. I can be a PE teacher, and I can also coach. So
yeah. What
got some options on the table.
Why teaching? Where did that happen to you? Why did that be your choice of field?
So my dad's a teacher, and just how much time he got to spend with me too. Like how much grow up with me. He was at all my games. He was able to coach me, and I want to have that relationship with my kids. So my dad's he's a huge part of my life. My mom is too. She's a nurse, so she was around a lot too.
Yeah.
She got to pick her own schedule.
What did your dad teach? And was he a high school teacher?
Nope, he does at Sacagawea.
Oh,
yep.
He's a middle school.
He's a middle school teacher. Yep.
Hats off to your dad. My wife was a middle school teacher for 15 years. I know that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's not an easy
Yeah,
thing.
he's there too. He's coaching the baseball team over there, so he's doing great.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about being at your last season. Everybody says when they're a senior, it's amazing how fast it went by.
Yeah.
Are you having those thoughts, and how are you trying to make it slow down in this last year?
Yeah, so I'm a not only senior, I'm a 6-year senior. So I've been here the whole time too. So it goes by insanely fast, especially this last 3 months or so. Just starting here, I close my eyes and we're already in week 5. So it's kind of insane, and I just kind of take every day, or what I've been trying to do is just slow down each day, and just be thankful for each day, and just realize like what I get to do and who I'm around, and with my roommates. I'm waking up with them every day and enjoying them, and just trying to enjoy it all.
The fact you guys have made playoff runs the last 2 years, which has extended your seasons, probably helped a little bit, I would think.
Yes, it does. It does help a lot, and we're trying to get that. That's the goal every year, so we need to get there. We need to get there again to extend the season, so I can get a nice extra long season with the boys.
Let's talk about your hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Why the long hair? Why not cut it? It's got to get hot in the summertime when you're out there practicing and those kind of things. Tell me about your hair.
So I've actually been growing out since 7th grade, and so I've had it my almost entire life. And going back to it, my older brother, and I had basically 2 more older brothers that are super close family friends, and they 3 are like a couple years older than me. So I of course followed their role, and I started growing out my hair. They all 3 have their still long hair, and it just kind of started with that. I followed my brother's footsteps, so kind of started with that.
You probably know at some point you're gonna have to cut it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like thinking about it. My mom always says she has to I have to give her a warning before I cut it, because she thinks she's gonna get a little emotional when it happens, and I probably will too. It's a big part of my life, and I love it, and yeah, it's a great. It's
really cool for me because I don't even need your number.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have a blank jersey on there, and I know who you are. So that's got to be a good thing.
My grandparents up in the stands, they go to all the games too. So my grandma's up there, and she can see it easily too. So I like that too.
Have you ever had somebody pull on it?
Oh, all the time. It happens almost every play. It comes down to my shoulder pads. It comes on the other side. So those big offensive linemen like to use those big old grippy hands, and they grab it all the time. And it doesn't make me too happy, but I'm pretty used to it now.
Yeah. I would think that would be the hardest thing is knowing your hair is going to get pulled all the time.
Oh, yeah. I keep it really wet so it stays down and doesn't kind of poof up. So that kind of helps, but in play, I don't really feel it. I feel it afterwards, like, I feel that spot. I feel like that spot where it gets pulled, or it gives me a little headache.
Do you have the best hair on the team?
I mean,
because I've got a guy that you can make the answer, and I'm going to tell you who I think has the best hair, at least of the guys I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, I think by definition, I think I got the best hair.
Well, you got the most hair.
Yeah, that's true. But I would say I do.
Okay.
Who do you think has the best hair?
Have you seen Matt Irwin?
I have seen Matt Irwin. You like his hair? That's respectable. That's a good-looking dude.
Well, his hair looks like every guy when I was in high school in the 70s. He's got 70s hair. He's got like John Travolta's Saturday Night Fever hair.
Oh yeah, all the ladies like him. He's on like the TikToks. He got people reposting him. He has people been making edits of him. So yeah,
but he doesn't have. He's a safety.
Yep.
And he used to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got pretty hair. You got hard working hair.
Oh, well, thank you. I think I'd rather have the hard working hair.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Zach Krotzer. We appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Sir.
Always a pleasure to visit with you. It's so great to see you again, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate you. It was awesome being here.
It's a late night Saturday. Kickoff is at 8:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Pacific Time. Our pregame show will start at 6 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, live from Missoula. This Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. When he's not caring for the Vandals as team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor provides the same MVP orthopedics care to our entire region. At Inland Orthopedics, our team is your team. Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider podcast. We are now joined by soccer coach Jeremy Clevenger as the Idaho Vandal women get ready to start Big Sky Conference play. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me.
This is the first question I ask every coach, no matter what the sport, when they transition from non-conference into conference play. Happy with what you got out of non-conference?
Yeah, no, I mean the goal of non-conference is to prepare you for conference, and thought we had a pretty challenging non-conference schedule, a lot of different types of teams, some big games at home with, Washington State and Boise, and then, it's just a variety of different games on the road and home as well. So, I think it really is prepared us for us to get ready to go into conference.
What did you learn about your teams in these first 11 matches you've played?
Yeah. No, I think we learned that we're a pretty good team. We are a very good defensive team. Something that's nice to see us continue that culture. Having 5 shutouts already and really limiting. I think there's only been one game where we've allowed multiple goals in a game, and that was the second game of the season. But the team is organized, tough to break down, really good defensively. We keep the ball really well. We create a lot of good opportunities. One thing that we're really working on this week is just trying to scoring more of those opportunities. We've had some games where we've created those opportunities and haven't quite punched them in the back of the net, and that was kind of been our focus this after the non-conferences. Hey, we're good. We're doing these great things. Now it's time to put a few goals in the back of the net, and then it's gonna I think trajectory us up to the top.
The last 7 matches, you've only been beaten twice, but you only have 3 goals in that. I mean, is that something that has to change now that you start Big Sky Conference play?
For sure. It's something that we look at. We've really been searching and looking and evaluating, why haven't we scored those goals or what. It's just everything's been each game is a little bit different, But the nice thing is we've created opportunities. It'd be one thing if we're not creating any opportunities, but we created a lot, and we're getting players in really good goal-scoring situations. And then now it's for us. We're just kind of tuning up that and making sure that we can capitalize on when we do create those opportunities.
Well, the way I look at this schedule, you just don't give up many goals. So, I mean, you got to feel that when you start a match, one goal might win it for you.
For sure. No, it's something. 1, I feel good. 2, I feel great. And so it's something that defense travels. Defense is key, and like I said, on the other side, we're not giving up many opportunities on that side as well. So I mean, it's nice that we're creating opportunities, not giving a ton of opportunities on our end, and so if we can continue that trend. Not give up goals, and then obviously, like I said, put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, we're going to be a really, really dangerous team in conference.
We talked to you at the beginning of the season when you were early in the non-conference season, talking about all the new faces you have and trying to figure out who plays where and where you need people. Is that all done? Are you to the point now where it's like, I know who's going to play where and how much people are going to play?
Yeah, we've kind of settled in quite a bit. I mean, has been a couple adjustments. For instance, like lately, Alyssa Hamilton, she's starting. She's a true freshman, and we had Miranda Goldner starting from day one, but Melissa Hamilton, we had a couple nicks and knocks, and that kind of limited a couple players, and she got her opportunity, and she took it, right? So that was awesome to see. So, but no, I think at this point you're settled in. You kind of know what you have in the rotations, and you kind of fall into like a routine in that.
The reason I ask you that question is I had Callie Chiarelli on the podcast after I talked to you, and she told me the evolution of where she's now playing, where she was a defender before.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells me that you're trying to get the best 11 on the field at their best positions.
Yeah, no, we've something we've converted players before. You just see certain aspects and attributes of people's game that fit what you want, and we're not afraid to switch it around and putting people in different positions. But like Callie's a perfect example. I mean, she came as a defender, but like, nope, you're a forward. Sorry. And yep, you're going to be attacking for us. And she has 2 goals and is dangerous. And I thought she had a great game against Boise.
I don't care how old you are if you're playing the sport of soccer. If you're 5 or you're a professional, getting to score goals is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think if you try to take a forward and move them to defense, they might. But a defender, I can actually score.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Like all the defenders want to be forwards and want to score and things like that. But no, it's so much fun to score a goal. Obviously, it can happen, but it can be tough to score goals at some times, and so when you do it, you're blessed and thankful, and it's always fun to put it back in the net.
All right, start the season on the road. You've got 3 matches to begin conference play all the way from home. Let's talk a little bit about the Big Sky Conference. How good is the league this season?
Yeah, no, it's been really impressed with what I've seen from the league. It's been a lot of parity and a lot of teams, kind of fighting in that middle pack, and yeah, no, it's going to be a tough one this year. Like I think you don't have before you'd have sometimes you have the top 2 or 3 teams that kind of separate, and then you have that middle pack, and then the lower. Now it seems like everybody's kind of clumped in together. So we're going to have to be really on our toes and coming in and prepared for each game.
Well, and that tells me then if you can't afford to give one away because it might be you may not think it's to a team that could hurt you in the standings, but all of a sudden it might not be. It could be to the wrong team.
Yeah, no, I mean I think you got to take each game, right? That's the main thing. You don't really look ahead. You got to really focus on what games are ahead of you, and right now all our focus is on Idaho State, and and preparing and getting that win, and then we'll turn the page on the next, and so we just got to focus, take it one day. We can't look ahead, and we got to be up for every team because it's a tough league, and conference is conference. So yeah. Is
there a rivalry? Idaho State. I mean, it's 2 in-state.
I think a little bit. I think we probably more lean towards, like I said, the Boise States, Wash State's more in conference. Montana's been a big rivalry. So, but like I said, I mean, we've been. I know we haven't talked about this too much on the team, but this is something we've been on top of the conference for so long. We know we're going to get everyone's best shot. So it doesn't matter. Rival or not, we know people are going to show up for us because it's Idaho and we've been good. And so that's something this team needs to, be prepared for.
Soccer's a sport that you play once a week at the high level. And if you're really good, then you've got international or Champions League things, those kind of things where you play competition, you might play twice a week. When you play twice in 3 days, you're playing Thursday at Idaho State, and then you play at Weber State. And it's only 2.5 because it's actually a noon start. How hard is that in the sport of soccer to recover and play, 36 hours later? Yeah,
no, thank goodness you got 2 days between games. There we do have one game at the end of the season. We have 1 day of rest in between that. That becomes a little tougher. But, those 2 days are so huge, just – getting your body recovered, right, treatment, because like I said, you're running, average person runs 8 8 to 10 miles per game, right? And then it's not only that, it's physical, and take knocks, and you're sprinting and stopping, and so it's a physical on your body and daunting on your body. So having those rest, and we do, I think, a pretty good job of in between games, recovering, making sure they're getting the treatment they need and things like that. So it's key. It's important. Obviously, also too, we talked a lot about hydration and food and kind of doing everything you can to make sure your body recovers.
Idaho State, Weber State, are these going to be two tough matches for you on this opening weekend?
Yeah, no, I mean, both teams are showing well. Idaho State's been doing some really good things, and they have a cool formation that they're playing that we don't see all the time, and so we're going to have to be prepared for that.
What are they doing?
They're playing like a formation where they move a lot of players in different places, and it's just a lot of inner movement and changing and things like that. So it's pretty cool, like when you see them, kind of getting the rhythm. So we're just going to have to make sure that we are, organized and kind of not let them get that flow, right? And then I think there's some opportunities for us to take it at them, with our forwards and our players. And then Weber's having probably one of the best starts they've had in long as I can remember. I mean, I think they just went down to UC Santa Barbara and beat them 2-0 on the road, and Santa Barbara was 8-1-1. So I think they're kind of like around 5-6 wins or something like that. I mean, they're having a heck of a non-conference. So so it's going to be two tough games, and we're going to have to be ready to roll.
Thursday at Idaho State, that will start at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and then Sunday afternoon at noon Pacific time at Weber State. And in fact, the Vandals don't play a home soccer match until Sunday when they host the University of Montana on October 5th. Jeremy Clevenger, the head coach of Idaho Vandal Women's Soccer, thanks for being here. Good luck on the road, safe travels, and I'm certain we'll visit with you before the Big Sky Tournament.
Love it. Thank you.
Today's Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. As the Vandals team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor cares for elite athletes, weekend warriors, and everyone in between. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. We are now joined by volleyball coach Romana Redondo Kriskova as the Vandals get ready to start conference play. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Well, great morning, Vandals, and thanks, Dennis, for having me here. I'm very excited to be here and looking forward to this week.
All right, 4 weeks of non-conference. Got 3 victories, which is already improvement over what last year was. But did you get out of the non-conference schedule what you wanted to get your team prepared to play Big Sky play?
Exactly. I think, well, you can look at the wins and losses however you want, whether it measures your success or no, but I don't think that's where we need to focus on. And that's what I keep reminding my team, the season is long, and it's the journey that is going to matter. And we are finding our pieces into the puzzle of how we are going to be playing, who is going to be playing what position, what role on the team. And I think that this non-conference showed us what we are capable of and what we can do, what we need to work on. And I think that tested us on every aspect of the game. And things that we know we need to work on, things that we know that we are doing well, and it prepared us for the conference.
One of the things coaches always want to see is improvement from their team from week to week. Did you see that during those 4 weeks of the non-conference season? Were you better in week 2 than week 1, week 3 better than 2, week 4 better, and vice versa as the conference or the non-conference went along? Absolutely.
I'm very happy with the progress that we are making. Most importantly, the people that are stepping up right now. I mean, we have 3-4 freshmen that are playing. They're getting their playing time, and they are, major factors of our team. So I'm very happy of how they're stepping up, and also all of the newcomers that came in. So we pretty much everybody who's playing right now was not here last season or was not in their position. So it's a brand new team, and you can definitely see the progress that we are making week to week, that we are getting used to playing next to each other and getting to know the system that I want us to be playing.
When you start practicing, there's not a lot of games. You're just trying to put your systems in and get everybody, and especially you with all the new faces, get everybody on the same page. But once you start playing matches, you kind of get a better idea of where your team is. First of all, is there anything that pleasantly surprised you about this team once you started playing these last 4 weeks?
Yes, one thing that I'm very proud of this team is how gritty we are and how resilient we are. I mean, over these past 4 weekends, we played really tough matches with some teams that, on the paper, they are above us, but we came and we balled out. Like, we played our hearts out, and I was really happy to see that we were not scared of anything, even whatever the score was up there. Like, we were constantly fighting. So I'm very happy to see that this is the mentality of the team, and I keep reminding the players that this hard work is going to pay. And we already have 3 wins, so I'm very happy with how we are going.
Okay, so you're happy with. I love that gritty, resilient. That basically says they're not going to back down from any challenge, which the coach always loves. But do you have to temper your excitement for that, even though you may have lost a match?
Obviously, yes. Obviously, we had some hard losses that I think we all thought in our heads that we already had the win, and then it was, whether it was taken away from us or we gave it away, these are the points that we are learning, and luckily it happened at the beginning of the season. So this way we know how to tough it up, and we know how to practice that next time we have this opportunity, we will go and get it. We will not let this slip through our hands. You
played a lot of volleyball at a high level. Teaching a new team how to win is always the last thing that comes, isn't it?
It is tough. It is tough, but I love it. I love it. I have so much experience of playing, and whether I was on the other side or, yes, I did play another level, but you're still playing the same game. You still have the same love for the game. So, I'm enjoying.
Any of your players surprise you? Is anybody on this team you're thinking to yourself, I'm getting more out of them, or they're way better than I thought they were going to be, or I didn't expect that out of them?
I think everybody surprised me in a positive way. Volleyball is a team sport, so I'm not going to name any individual. I have to give credit to everybody, because it's not one player that is going to win game. It's not one player that is going to lose the game. It's the entire team effort. So I will always stick by it, because this is my belief, and I think that the team is heading the same direction in their heads as well.
That being said, do they share your feeling with that? This is a team, and we're going to win together as a team?
Yes.
How do you get a team to do that?
Great question. I think that the players make it easy for me to coach them, and also to make sure that we have the team chemistry, because it matters to the players that we are playing as a team. I think the players came here in July, so they were here 3 weeks, pretty much on their own, just working their butts off with the strength and conditioning coach. They were doing open gyms, they were doing some volunteering activities, they were doing some team activities to get to know each other, and so by the time that we started preseason, they already knew each other. So that's a great positive thing, and I'm very grateful for how much work they have put in so far, because that is going to translate on the court, and it is already.
Looking back to when you were a player and the teams you played on, both in college and professionally, or even club or internationally, when the team likes one another, does that help success? Does that make success easier when there isn't that, okay, there's a group here and there's a group here, when everybody's together, which sounds like they took it on themselves to come here and get that done before practice even started. How does that help a team be a better team?
Oh, it helps in every aspect. In every aspect on the court. I don't have to worry about players. I don't have to worry about groups here and there, because I know that they're going to push each other on the court. Obviously you're not gonna be best friend with everybody on the team, but you're going to be comfortable with everybody around you, and you're gonna push each other on the court. You're gonna say some things that are coming out of tough love, but it's always the love that is there. It matters to me, it matters to the team. Okay, you need to get on board, and we are able to have these kind of conversations, and if we didn't have those relationships that we created in the past, we would not be able to have these conversations, and we would we would be just keeping in our heads or like talking behind each other's backs, and this is not how team sport works. So I'm very happy with the relationship that the players have created.
The 12 teams, actually 11 teams you played, because you played Cal State Fullerton twice. Most people couldn't pick where these places are on a map, and that's nothing wrong, because I'm sure that most teams that you played could tell you what city the University of Idaho was in. But now we start conference play. Now we get the familiar names, the familiar places to go. Who, in your opinion right now, are the teams to beat in the Big Sky Conference?
Everybody.
Oh, don't give me that answer. You can't say that.
Well, why not? I mean, volleyball is rounded, like before the game, there's maybe a favorite, maybe, like somebody who has higher stakes to win, but at the end of the day, do you show up and do you play your level? Is the other team better prepared than you are? Is the other team hungrier than what you are? And, this is something that I love about the coaches poll at the beginning of the season is obviously we were voted as last team to finish. And I look at it as thank you, because because right now, the only way is up, and at the same time, we're going to prove everybody wrong. So, I get it, respect, it's earned. It's not given, and we got to earn it, and we're going to earn it.
So you can't see... but there was a big smile on one of the two of us who was doing the podcast when they were talking about their team being picked last. So I mean, exactly. All right, so let's talk about the first game. Thursday, the conference opens at Northern Arizona. Is there a mind change? Do you do anything differently now that conference play is here? Have you talked about conference play? I mean, how do you flip the page from the end of the non-conference season last Saturday to the start of conference play? We're taping this interview on Tuesday. It starts on Thursday night.
Well, obviously now we'll have more time of preparation for the games. Not this week because we have only one practice, but next week will be much better since we're going to be here all week, so we can actually spend time on practicing the exact things that we are going to be facing in a game. So it's definitely the preparation for the game. We will spend, we already spend a lot of time watching film, so we know everything about the opponent that we need to know. And right now it's just going to be preparation, and it's going to be the rest that we need in between.
There's the schedule makers didn't do any favors. They send you to Northern Arizona, which, in my opinion, is the hardest place.
It's the hardest travel.
Hardest travel to get to, and you don't get a second road game. Then you're back home against Montana on Saturday night. Are your kids, young ladies, excited that conference season is here?
Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We had a captain's meeting yesterday, and you can feel the energy from the players that they're excited. The conference is here, and they're ready for some rivalries here.
That's got to make a coach feel really good when you see a team start conference play, because we all know this is a league that's going to get one bid in the NCAA tournament, and to get in, you're going to have to win the conference. When they know this is where it starts to get to that ultimate goal, that's got to make you feel that's got to make you tell yourself, I'm doing the right thing here.
That's exactly what I keep reminding my players and also my coaching staff, that we are heading the right direction, we are taking the steps that we need, and we just need to stay patient, stay greedy, stay resilient, and keep working.
All right, the Vandals will open up on the road on Thursday night. The conference opener will start at 5 o'clock Pacific time at Northern Arizona. And then Saturday, the first home match. In fact, it's the first home match that the Vandals have had since the tournament that they hosted back in August.
Yes,
is that right?
That's correct. We've been on the road.
You've been on the road, but wow! You're gonna play first home match in a month. Memorial Gym. It starts at 6 o'clock Pacific. We certainly hope to see you, if not this Saturday in Memorial Gym, sometime this week, to watch the women's volleyball team in action. Romana, Redondo, Kriskova, thanks for being here. Good luck this week, and I'm sure we'll visit with you later on.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope to see everybody in Mem Gym this Saturday. Go Vandals!
This Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. When he's not caring for the Vandals as team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor provides the same MVP orthopedic care to our entire region. At Inland Orthopedics, our team is your team. Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. As we told you earlier, football, soccer, and volleyball all starting conference play, but there's another beginning of this season, and that is the Idaho Vandals women's swim and dive. They're kicking off their season Saturday in the Boise Valley at the College of Idaho, and their longtime head coach, Dr. Mark Sowa, joins us. How are you?
Dennis, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I told everybody when I got to talk to you last year, that was my favorite interview of the year because you and I talked half about swimming and then half about stuff that was just fun to talk about.
Yeah,
so,
it's never just about sports, is it?
No, it's not. And it's always great to open up another door or a couple of doors and just kind of let people behind the scenes. So if we venture off, we apologize, but I'm just going to give people a warning right now. Let's talk a little bit about your team.
Great.
Obviously, you haven't swam yet. You haven't done anything. How good are you guys?
Well, like you said, that's kind of yet to be determined. We have a very large roster. In an era of roster cuts and roster limitations and revenue sharing, we are trying to change the paradigm a little bit and offer opportunities, especially for people within the region. And so currently we're carrying 39 swimmers and 5 divers, which is huge. It's bigger than we've ever been. But I'm excited about that because that gives us a lot of different looks. It gives us a lot of depth. I think we're talented. But I do like to remind them sometimes we're not that talented, so we have to do things really well and pay attention to detail and think about what we do and be thoughtful and mindful with our approach. But I think we made some really good strides last year. Certainly we graduated some good talent, but we brought in some more as well. I think we're really our sophomores and juniors are very good. And we have great leadership on the senior side, and it's always freshmen. For the first year, we brought in I think we have 3 transfers, which is maybe 4, 3. I don't know. I lose track, but that's different for us. But I'm excited about the transfers. I think they're here for the right reasons, and I think they found a home here. So
That's the second largest team in the athletic department.
Probably, yeah.
I think you're even bigger than track. I mean, it might be close, but I mean, there's only one pool here at Idaho, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you get practice in with that many people?
We're on radio right now. We're podcasts,
yeah.
And you can't see the gray hair, but that's where a lot of the gray hair comes from, is trying to figure this stuff out. It's a jigsaw puzzle, but even within that, we're fairly good at differentiating between each athlete's needs. And one of our biggest challenges here at Idaho is just figuring out class conflicts with training time. But in some ways, it's a blessing in disguise because seldom do I have all 39 in the water at the same time because of class conflicts. So it allows me to, on some of those extra practices that I run, get very specific with some of the athletes too. And I always tell them it takes me about 3 or 4 weeks to kind of figure out where all the pieces match. And so now we're at week 5, and I still haven't really figured out where all the pieces match, but I'm a lot closer. And so I like where we're at. I really enjoy coaching at this level. And it's a very, very high level, but it's also a place where people have a little bit more room to develop. They're not finished products, but they're also not products. These are people. And so we try to mentor with that in mind as well.
Where do you find your swimmers?
Mostly in the water, Dennis.
I knew it.
Yeah.
First softball for the good doctor here. But I'm saying,
all over.
Coach Ford is going to high school games.
Right.
Coach Pribble and Coach Marrera are going to AAU tournaments where there's 1,000 kids playing in gyms. And not every high school has a high school swim team.
Well, swimming is unique, and we'll just talk on the swimming side. Most of the recruitable talent swims within the USA Swimming organized sport. So these are club athletes. So we're not really looking at high school too much. High school is mostly so that they can get street cred with their contemporaries. We're looking for kids that are going fast, and those are the ones who are swimming with USA Swimming club teams. They obviously, it tends to be a little bit more of an affluent sport because of that, because there are fees and travel and all that. But also what's nice about our sport too is, a time is a time, so it's an objective standard. And if somebody has been 59 and, the 100 breaststroke, what 59 seconds means for a 100 breaststroke. And so where we do our good work is trying to find that kid that is right at that national level but hasn't quite made that step yet. And so that diamond in the rough. And we do really well regionally. Oregon and Washington are actually very good swimming states, which is very interesting because Oregon no longer has a Division I swimming program, and the great state of Washington has one, and Idaho has one. And so we can take advantage of that regionally sometimes too. But we get them from all over. I mean, we got kids from Texas. We got kids from North Carolina. We have a freshman diver from Mexico. We have kids from Illinois, Indiana. So we kind of got that Midwest corridor. We need some New Englanders. I'm from New England, so I need to talk.
That's your fault then.
Yeah, I need to talk Red Sox baseball with somebody. But, they tend to stay local because they're wicked smart and all that. But it's fun. It's fun to remind them that look at where all these kids are from, and we're in northern Idaho. And when you can be in northern Idaho and get to know somebody who has such a different background than you, that's pretty special. And so that's why I think I've been here as long as I have, because we can attract young athletes. I keep saying kids, Dennis. They're all kids to me, but young people, young athletes like this.
I completely agree with you. If you're offended by me saying kid for a college student, then go listen to somebody else's podcast, right? I'm never going to change. If you're younger than me, you're a kid.
Amen, brother.
If you're older than me, you're a ma'am or a sir.
I got you.
There you go. It always fascinates me how coaches take individuals that are in an individual sport, be it tennis, be it wrestling, be it track, for the most part, and turn them into a team.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, wow. How long do we have to talk about this?
Well, as long as you want, because you and I went the longest of any two people on this podcast a year ago.
Not surprised. First of all, back to recruiting, you're looking to bring in the right people. And we always talk to them about I want kids who want to be Vandals and what that means. And I want kids who are proud of the diploma that they hang on the wall, that understand that swimming and diving is part of their education. It doesn't just pay for their education, it's part of their education. And so when they have a worldview like that, and when they see their sport as part of this intellectual and athletic journey that they're on, it's an easier sell to talk about, looking at things that are beyond just yourself, and getting them to think more about that. You're right. It is, perception-wise, it's an individual sport, but sharing this experience with others is so unique and so special. Because to me, again, we remind them, no one knows what it's like for Dennis Patchin to be in the water, to move through the water, other than him. And so that experience is unique to the individual. However, we're all having these unique subjective experiences, and we're sharing them together. So if we can learn from those shared experiences and then have a goal of moving this thing forward and celebrating at the end of February together through this journey, that's what a team is all about. And to take 18 to 22-year-olds and try to teach them that, Yeah, that's a process, because they are naturally the most selfish people in the world. And that sounds really negative, but it's not. They're literally defining self at this point. And when you can be a part of that definition and help them figure out who they are and to look at how we can learn from others, you get this template for growth and development and moral development and cognitive development. So it's more than just what the clock says at the end of the race. It's more than just what the diving judge says when they hold up that card. It's about sharing this journey together. And we forget about that with house settlements and NIL stuff. And that stuff's important. But the reason why we dig college athletics, the reason why it's such big business, is all that other stuff, and that's, we're losing sight of that. When I taught sports ethics last year, I asked them, if these kids become employees, are you still going to like going to football games? And they said no. I said, well, why is that? It's because of the community aspect of it. You're sitting next to a football player in your classroom. That means something. And if they just become commodities, and it's professional sports, and that's not why college athletics are important to us. It's the shared experience. It's the community. And you see that in Moscow every day. You see that in Pullman every day. And I am worrisome about the path of the NC2A right now. And that'll be a podcast for another day, and we can talk about that.
Okay, that sounds like sounds like one that we need to do at some point in time. Maybe in the summertime we will throw it up there where nobody knows where it is, and then we get it off our chests.
Absolutely.
How did coaching swimming wind up to be part of your life? Because I've spent time talking to you, and you have so many interests over so many different areas.
Yeah.
But how did swimming become part of you?
Completely by accident. All right, I am going to make a very long story short. I've always been in the water. I always have. My mother taught swimming lessons in our backyard when I was growing up. These glasses I wear are not for show. I'm blind as a bat. I've been blind as a bat since I was 2. And I found very quickly when I went underwater I could see, and that was a new universe, a new world for me. So I just always wanted to be in the water. And then I realized I was pretty good at it, and it made me feel special. A lot of my contemporaries couldn't do what I was doing. They didn't understand what I was doing. But I never wanted to be a swim coach. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be an educator. But after my first sojourn through graduate school, I was offered a position at Brown University in Providence, and I was 22. And I was like, what the heck, I'll give this a try. And I figured out what I wanted from teaching, I got from coaching and more. And those are some of the things we talk about, just the interaction with young people, the seeing it through for 4 or 5 years as opposed to one semester. For the most part, they want to be in your classroom. They want to be in the water, and so that's fun. And I don't have to wear shoes if I don't want to. I mean, that's pretty cool too. So there's a lot of things along those lines. It checks a lot of boxes. It's a lifestyle. It's more than just a job. It is a lifestyle. But they keep you young. I make jokes about the gray hair. They do. They keep you young. And just being in a college town, there's always hope. There's always hope. Like, one of my favorite things in the world is commencements, it's hard not to get choked up at a commencement. It's so beautiful just watching the looks on people's faces as they venture off into the world, knowing that they are going to change the world. And what that means to them, who the heck knows? But, that's the thing. Every year there's hope. And I mentioned being a Red Sox fan. Man, I grew up being a Red Sox fan. There are a lot of lean years.
That's where you learn hope, right?
Exactly. Every year? Wait till next year. We'll get them next year. And there's always a next year. And that's so cool. That's why I love baseball. 162 games. You drop one, you get another chance, I mean, you going over, you get another chance. You get 3 hits out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's life right there. We fail a lot in life. And so, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, why am I a coach?
Why are you a coach?
Yeah, why am I a coach? Because it's fun. Athletics is fun. I mean, think about it. Think of the things in life that we love: art, music, sports. We don't need these to survive, but man, they make life way more fun and way more worth living. And they're universal. Every culture has art, music, and sport. No matter how developed, no matter where they're from, we all do it. It's our language. So why not tap into that? Why not tap into the universality of it? There's intrinsic value to it. And it's not just how many points you score. And so that's why I dig it. And when it is no longer fun, I'll go off into the sunset and do something else. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't know if I have a skill set to do something else. Maybe podcasting, Dennis. I mean, this seems like it could be a good gig.
You know what? I'll tell you, you can do them.
Yeah.
Nobody makes any money doing them, but you can. Most people don't, but you can do them. You said something that fascinates me because you have taught classes before. You have taught at the college level, but you're getting something out of coaching.
Yeah.
Where you're teaching that you're not getting out of the classroom
completely.
Where you're teaching
completely.
Why?
Because there's the connection. You know, you get to know them more as people. You get to see the ups and the downs. You know, you get to see the joy. You get to see the hard work. You know, when you teach, there is a connection a lot of times through writing, and the written word is unique and special too. But, you know, in the era of ChatGPT, you know, how much of that is really, you know, coming from them. But I thought the classroom would be more similar to coaching than it is. It's a different challenge. Like, I like it. I don't know if I love it as much as I do coaching.
Well, coaching, everybody wants to be there.
Exactly.
Teaching, sometimes kids don't want to be in a classroom.
And I recruited them too, so there's part of it that there's already a relationship and a connection there and a belief in what we're doing. Teaching is a little bit more sales in terms of I'm selling the idea that philosophy is important, you know, ethics is important, you know, moral development is important, you know, and it is, and I believe that. And so I will continue to teach when the time is right. You know, the philosophy department here asked me to teach this semester, and with 14 newcomers, I just had too much on my plate, but I'll find a way to do it again because it intellectually it's stimulating, but it doesn't give me the same oomph that coaching does, basically.
We know what NIL is doing to football, men's and women's basketball, and there are other sports that are out there. How is NIL affecting the sport of college swimming?
Yeah, yet to be determined.
Does anybody have NIL money for swimmers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then it's really complicated. I don't want to speak out of turn. There's NIL money, and then there's the revenue sharing side of this with the house settlement.
Right.
And so that had severely impacted men's swimming and diving specifically in terms of roster limitations, specifically in the SEC. A lot of people had to jump into the portal because they didn't have a spot anymore, and these are really good athletes. So there's that side of it. The law of unintended consequences is going to be really interesting. And again, I don't want to be a bummer here, but people talk about revenue sharing. It's revenue sharing. It's not profit sharing. Okay, and you got 300 Division I institutions. 10% of them make a profit. So you're looking at about 30 schools. So when you share revenue, okay, revenue has been spoken for in a lot of ways. You know, revenue is part of the operating budget of your athletic department. So if you're going to share revenue, you got two choices. You're either going to have to increase revenue or you're going to have to cut expenditures. And the cutting of expenditures is something that, again, is yet to be determined with some of these places.
But cutting expenses is way easier than raising more money.
Correct. And so I am worried for Olympic sports, which again is why this is such a great place to coach right now, is because both Terry and President Green can see the forest for the trees, and they understand who we are and what we should be. And I think we can still do it in a very competitive way. And I think we have boosters who are going to be supportive of specifically our football and basketball programs too, from an NIL perspective.
Which, I mean, for lack of a better term, any revenue coming in to the department helps the entire department.
Correct. It has to. It has to. You know, and not just revenue coming in, that also includes student fees. You know, like we need to, like the students at this university, you know, if we're going to share revenue, their student fees are a big part of that revenue. So they should, frankly, have a say in how to share that revenue.
You would think, wouldn't you?
Know?
You would think.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, we taped this on Tuesday. The Red Sox are in the second wild card spot.
Yeah.
Are you confident they're going to hang on to that?
Oh, God.
Because Cleveland and Houston are only a game behind them.
Yeah.
One of those teams are going to get left out.
Yeah, we got the tie break with both of them. So really, we're technically up 2, if you think about it like that. And then Cleveland's got to play Detroit for 3. So we're rooting for one of those teams to sweep. So right now, it'd be better if Detroit swept Cleveland. We got Giolito on the bump tonight. He is on an extra day's rest, I believe. I think we got Crochet going tomorrow and Bayo on 6 days rest for the third game of that series. So we got the pitching lined up. Toronto's a pain in the rear end, especially at the Rogers Center. Those Canadians are feisty. So long story short, am I confident, Dennis? Yes, I am very confident. You will see the Sox in the wild card, probably playing in New York.
Okay.
But we've owned the Yankees this year, so we'll see. And apparently Crochet is going to go in game 1 if we get there, and I like that. Short series, You got your ace. I think our starting pitching's better. That short porch in right field at Yankee Stadium scares the living bejesus out of me, though, man. I don't like that place. You ever been to Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to both. I was at the old one and I was at the new one.
Me too.
Yeah.
I prefer the old one.
But you know what? The good news is, and the theme of this is, if it doesn't go well this year, there's always next year, right?
Next year, brother. Always next year. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Mark, we appreciate it. Thanks for the time. Mark,
Got it.
Dr. Mark Sowa, the head coach of the Idaho Vandal women's swim program. They open up this weekend at the College of Idaho. Good luck this season, and we'll get that summer podcast where we just go.
We're going to solve it all. It'll be great.
That'll be fun. Can we do it in half an hour?
45 minutes.
Okay, that'll be perfect.
All right. Thanks, Dennis.
All right.
Appreciate you. Go Vandals.
That's going to do it for this week's Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. Want to thank all of our guests for joining us. Don't forget to join us each Tuesday night for more Vandals talk from the Idaho Vandal Coaches Show. Every Tuesday night, live from 42 Bar Kitchen at 7 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Mountain Time on the Idaho Vandal Radio Network. I'm Dennis Patchin saying thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast.
This has been the Vandal Insider Podcast, presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Get the latest information on University of Idaho athletics you won't find anywhere else with the Vandal Insider Podcast. From in-depth conversations to game previews, the Vandal Insider is every fan's source for all things Idaho athletics.